Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 4:45 in the evening. Markets are closed, and this is the daily video covering our Roundhill funds. We've got a special announcement in here, but in general, it's our RDTE funds for the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and the Russell 2000. Those would be QDTE, XDTE, and RDTE. And after being requested to add it, I went ahead and added YBTC today. It's not a RDTE fund, but it won't be too hard to cover, so I went ahead and added it to the video. It is a covered call strategy fund, which is falls in line with these, and it does pay weekly, so it fits enough that we will go ahead and add it to this group of videos. As usual, at ETF_Inspector1 over on X. I repost things, so this should have been your first hint today if you follow me when I went ahead and posted or reposted the Roundhill update from the day about YBTC. So a little spoiler alert, they did announce their distribution today, and it's a little over 50 cents, but we'll get into that towards the end. Okay, so on our funds, we start out. I also, right, if you watch this in the morning, as soon as they release it, I repost. I take a screenshot, put it all on the spreadsheet, show you how much they collected, what strike price they sold, their RDTE trades for on each index, and then that way you can follow along, trade along, whatever you like to do. Then we get to our spreadsheets at the end of the day, and we find out how their trades resulted. So for starters, QDTE, they sold calls for 23,320, 367 contracts, collecting $20.41 per share, or about $750,000. The NDX, or NASDAQ 100, closed at $23,018.56. That's well below the 23,320. So that costs $0 to close out, and that is a full profit of $749,000, bringing us back into the positive for the week on QDTE after yesterday's $400,000 loss. All right, QDTE. A little bit of holding and fund information. No changes in the holdings on the day. So this would be the results of yesterday. We don't get the new holdings until the following morning. So these holdings are as of this morning. So these values will have decreased because the NASDAQ 100 went down today, 0.73%. QDTE outperformed, only going down 0.65%. Sometimes these funds take a little bit of time to finish updating, so let's see if we get the same number. 3502. Yep, 3502. I'm not sure why one says 0.65% and the other says 0.62. Either way, less than the 0.73% decrease. So in today's case, you'd have been better off in QDTE. There's 846, almost 847 million assets under management. There was a change in outstanding shares, a large increase, 590,000 new outstanding shares added to our total, bringing us up over 24 million. Our NAV at the start of today was 3509. Makes sense, small decrease, and the fund price ended 3502. Tomorrow is Declaration Day. If you didn't watch the Friday video, I talk about how we got to this. My guess is around 21.5 cents, but I'm thinking that may be the low end. But either way, a little bit lower, decent couple cents lower than our previous distribution last week. And that's about all we need to talk about for QDTE. Next is XDTE for the S&P 500. They sold 646 calls at 6,360, collecting $3.88 premium, or $250,000. We will take a look at how SPX performed, closing at $62.99, well below the $63.60. That's going to be 0 to close out. Full profit of 250,000. We are still in the negative though for the week after yesterday's large loss on trading. All right, when we look at the fund, again, all three declare on Wednesday. That's 1 day away. XDTE went down slightly less than the S&P 500, 0.43 compared to the 0.49% decrease. So again, you'd have been better in the fund than in the index. 407 million assets under management, no change in outstanding shares, still 9.2 million. And again, so that was the NAV before anything happened today within the market. So a small decrease makes sense to bring it down a little below the NAV that we have stated. All our holdings have not changed. And my guesstimate for what they will be announcing tomorrow is 23 cents. Again, a couple cents below what we're used to because the week that we had leading into this was not a good one. But I could be wrong, right? Maybe I went a little too low. I'd rather be more conservative than not conservative enough. So if they paid based on the average, it'd be another 25.5 cents. But I came up with 23. All right, and then finally for the 0 DTE funds, and that just means there's 0 days till expiration. So they're selling a call on August 5th that expires on August 5th. They will not buy to close it. They will not take assignment, or they will just cash settle it at the end of the day. So for the Russell 2000, they sold 2,235 as the strike. The Russell was up today, but it stopped short of our strike price, 22.25 rather than 22.35. So that's going to be a full profit, nothing to close it out. We collected $2.39 per share, 642 contracts, 153,000. We're going to have a real hard time digging out of yesterday's hole, though, after having to pay $17+ to close those contracts out. But today resulted in a $153,000 profit. RDTE declaring tomorrow. Most recent distribution was 28, almost 29 cents. Average would call it 28 cents, but with the rough week that we had leading into this information, this guesstimate, I brought in a lower guess based off of previous trades in these price ranges, based off of losing money trading wise. I said 24. Hopefully we get 28, but here's what I'm thinking. There was an increase in outstanding shares, so people bought into the fund yesterday. 90,000 share surplus, 4.2 million outstanding shares, 141 million assets under management. We did not see any change in the holdings. My guess is, though, today they probably will have put that money to work, and we will see increases, most likely in the furthest expiration out, similar to with the new shares coming in. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we see an increase in our holdings, purchasing more deep in the money calls. And that's about all I've got to tell you for those three funds. Now we've got this brand new one that we're adding. I will tell you, I just got off the phone with a representative. I'm not sure if I should give the name or not, because I don't want to get the person in trouble if they said anything they shouldn't have said, or if I misquote something that they said, and I don't want to make anybody look bad. But I had a nice conversation on the phone with a representative from Roundhill, specifically around YBTC, to get some questions answered. They do not provide their trade information on this fund. They are going to go back and talk to the other people at the company and see if this is something that they want to provide, because it is something we're used to. We get it on the other funds. We get it in the yield max. But so I talked with them about it. But as of right now, if you're used to my videos, right, if we scroll down on S&P, right next to the download for the holdings, I also can get the trades. But on Bitcoins, it is not there. So we can take a look, we can get an idea. This is traded differently. This is traded similar to the Yield Max individual funds, except for they have two different things they're trading. So the first is CBTX, which is the Chicago Board Options Exchange Bitcoin ETF. And then the second is IBIT, which is iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. So they have not a synthetic, but 649 synthetic positions at $2,783.43 on CBTX, and that closed at 2,688. So where over here I just show how far in or out of the money. So they're synthetic, whereas on these RDTEs they just buy a deep in the money call and then sell calls off of them. On YBTC they purchase calls and sell puts at the same strike price, right? Same price, 27.83.43. Those are also considered flex options. Obviously, you're not going to see 27.83.43 as one of the option strikes that you can select, but pays to have money, I guess. But so now that will go up in value if the underlying goes up because they have purchased calls, and it will go down in value if the underlying goes down because they have sold puts. So that is a synthetic. That's like owning the shares. But here's the thing: they're not allowed to have such a concentration in a single underlying and still fit the descriptions of these ETFs. So they create synthetics instead. That way they're not actually holding any shares of the company. And now that still mimics having shares. So with that, you can sell calls off of that. And that's what they do. So you see they've got 649 synthetic positions or contracts, and then they sell 649 contracts. Their sale currently is actually at a strike below their break even. That's just because CBTX has dropped. The difference is this is out till the synthetic is out till September 19th, and then they sell a weekly option, a call off of it. Same thing, everything I explained for IBIT as well, right? 12,500 synthetic positions at 66, and they are actually selling calls at 66. Both of these sold or short calls are expiring this Friday, and somewhere along the lines, they will close these out and roll them to the following Friday. So that's how they're trying to generate the weekly income that they are paying out. The problem is they're not going to show us their trades as of right now, so we don't get to see how much they collected when they sold these, and we don't get to see how much they pay when they close them out. So hopefully we can lean on them a little bit, and maybe they'll start giving that information. As of right now, they're winning both of these trades, about 2.5% and 2.25% out of the money, with 3 trading days left. And then the vast majority of the money, as you can see, is sitting in cash and similar, right? Cash, treasuries, and First American government obligation funds. So that's how they're making income. So we'll have an idea of whether or not they're making money based off of how their options go. We can track the underlyings and see what they've sold and know whether or not they win or lose the trade. We just don't get a chance to see how much money they collected. There's $257 million assets under management within the fund. There's 5.4 million outstanding shares. Today was declaration day. Don't want to say the wrong thing. So we take a look. I reposted it. So they announced it this morning. YBTC is paying a little over 50 cents, a little over 50.5 cents. For some reason, they like to go out 6 decimal points. So if you've got shares of this, you get 50 plus cents per share. And that, let's see if they tell us. I do know they tell us. Distributions. So this one they just declared it today, the 5th. Tomorrow Wednesday is X day and record day also, and then 8/7 or Thursday is payday. So you will receive that 50 plus cents per share in your account on Thursday. So now you've got these pay weekly on Friday, and this one pays weekly on Thursday. So you can start having a payday every day. I know there's other funds that pay on Tuesdays, so you can find one so you just got money coming in all the time. All right, so that's it. That's the new announcement. That's what we're excited about. Hopefully, Felipe, he's the one that asked for it, gets to see this video and is happy. Other than that, I mean, I'll try to find more that I can give out. They've been paying out this one was considered a 55.79% distribution rate, so not too bad. The highest out of these four that we're covering. Okay, that's all I've got for you. Good luck trading tomorrow. Watch out for the post in the morning, letting you know what the trades are, and then come back in the evening to see how they performed. All right, thank you. Have a good day.